Juju Watkins was quickly becoming one of the best college basketball players ever. And I was looking forward to her. And another favorite of mine is Paige Beckers, who plays for UConn. They are both in the same region. So they were on a collision course to face off, and the winner goes to the Final Four. Now that no longer will happen because Juju Watkins in the first half against Mississippi State tore her ACL and is done for the season. My prayers and thoughts go out to Juju. She's only 19 years old, and I think she'll make a full recovery. She's a great player, and I expect her to come back as a great player. She goes to USC, and I'm sure she has access to the best surgeon. Besides, tearing the ACL in 2025 is not the same as tearing one in 1985. In 1985, your career is over. So I'm praying for a speedy recovery for Juju Watkins. Now let's get to these whiny Detroit Lions fans. They are acting entitled. They act like they're historical franchises like the Steelers, San Francisco 49ers. You even throw the Cowboys in there. When truthfully, you're not even on those guys' level historically. Now, Lions lost to the Commanders in the second round of the playoffs. And the reason why they lost, to me, the reason I think they lost is because the defense was depleted. You can say how bad the defense was in the beginning of the season, but I believe if you had the same defense that you had in week 1, week 2 with Carlton Davis, Hutch, Derek Barnes, McNeil, Roberson, DJ Reader, and Kirby and Branch, and if you would have acquired Zadarius Smith, not needed, but if you did acquire Zadarius Smith, I think that defense was good enough to get to the Super Bowl. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but you don't have to be perfect. Just good enough to get some stops. And I think that defense was good enough to get some stops to get the Lions to the Super Bowl. Not only that, we had the best offense in the league. You combine that with a decent defense, I think we could have made a run to the Super Bowl. And I think we would have beat the Chiefs. I think those injuries are the reason why, and not just me, a lot of experts say the same thing. I mean, did we have a top 5 defense for a while? We was really good against the run. I think we could have made the Super Bowl. I think we could have made a run. Even though the defense wasn't perfect, it was good enough to make a run. Now, I think fans, they see these big names. They want the Lions to get one of these big names. Big names does not always equal results. Do you remember the Texans last year? The Texans had the best offseason in the world. That's what a lot of people thought, right? They thought the Texans was going to go to the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship game. What happened to the Texans? Did they reach the AFC Championship game? Those names look good on paper, but let's see how these names perform on the field. I know exactly how BradHolmes is thinking. He says, if I could bring all these guys back and they stay fairly healthy, and I add a couple of depth pieces to the mix and also draft a couple of players, I should be okay. Like I said, when this defense was healthy, it wasn't that bad. Now I get a couple of backups. Now I go in the draft and get some impact players. This defense should be better than the other defense was when it was healthy. How can BradHolmes be a bad GM when in 2023, the Lions went 12-5 and went to the NFC Championship game, which I thought the reason we lost that is because of Dan Campbell. This next year, he goes 15-2, and we get the first seed in the playoffs, and our defense is depleted. I'm surprised we got that far. I'm surprised we got the 15-2 with that defense. And what made matters worse is Goff had 4 turnovers in that game. But people just want to gloss over that and blame BradHolmes. The last thing you want to do in a playoff game with a depleted defense is turn the ball over 4 times. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Is BradHolmes a terrible GM? That is what some of these whiny Lions fans are saying. BZ Sports, I'm gone.